Yeah, we finally completed the first phase of this project, which was to build the structure only. So this is our completion of the first phase of the project. We have completed it and we have worked on all the areas that we really wanted to make sure that they are done. We had a list of the snakes that we can't call them snakes as yet. We had areas where we felt that we needed to improve and to perfect. Yeah, so we did all that. The snags is when we then work on what the clients point out to be areas of concern. So we were working on our areas that we know, and this is our final finish. For those people who watch us on YouTube, this is our final finish, and once this house is painted, it will look very beautiful. The windows and the doors, we framed them in a very classic look where I mentioned in the previous videos, inside out. We never did the outside framings, which tend to be very ugly, like what others do. We created an extra buffer to make sure that our client's house is waterproofed thoroughly by going inside, as you can see on the windows. So we have been trying our best to make sure that we give the best to our client. Hence, we did this inside out framing. And what it does is when the water is raining, or when there's rains, yes, there's a gutter that is running down, throwing into the down pipe going that side. However, at times, because of the heavy rains and the torrential rains and the gale force winds in Cape Town, especially in the winter, the gutter is not enough. It can get flooded. So what we did was to make sure that we answer to that question by coming out with this kind of frames. With this kind of frames, when it rains now, the water doesn't sit, unlike when it was a framing which sits from the outside, where you frame and you don't answer to the question of the inside of the window. So when it rains there, as you can see, it's framed inside out. There is not any room for water to leak inside. And we also did the fiber seal, which I said was also something that seals permanently on all joints. So I'm quite happy with this finishing. It's going to be perfected by painting. Once they paint this house, which I understand that it's going to be edged. By edging, I mean it's a special type of painting which we call edging, where people who like the old school rustic look, the clay look, is not painted by the brushes, it's sprayed. That is what you get, the final finishing. For people who are busy browsing Pinterest most of the time, they know what I'm talking about. You get that ancient look that is normally common with the people who are shooting the movies and all that. So the clay finish house will make this place very exotic and very beautiful and out of this world. And you won't even think that this is a Nutec. Not that there is something bad about the Nutec, but it will make this place look very exotic and give a old school type of look. So I'll go on in detail now because this is the last video that I'm doing on this project. This is the corners. When I was talking about the corners of the edges of this structure, the purpose of doing the corners is the same way when you look at a brick structure like this one. You obviously want a structure that gives you a peace of mind in terms of waterproofing issues. So those are the corners there. And then you get your bashboards. We have bashboards as well here. They also answer to waterproofing. As you can see here, there is waterproofing that was done in between these dashboards. And then you have got your eaves. The eaves are these ones that goes right beneath and on top with the fascia boards. Those ones going straight are the fascia boards. And then you have got your roof sheets, which is the IBR roof sheets. The thickness there is not what we use. This is less than the one that we use. We used the Chromadec 0.47, which is a very superior roof sheet. Right, so all these things, they answer to waterproofing. Then you lay your gutter. This house doesn't have a gutter, of course, which is understandable because it's just a workshop and a toilet. So let's go back to our site. We have the framing done. Like I said, all our frames we don't knock, we use screws. So let's zoom in to see if what I was saying on all the videos is true. We screw with chipboard screws. These are the screws. These are the screws, chipboard. For people who know chipboard screws, they know that once this screw is in, it grooves inside and it's permanent, it's solid. And this is what I mean by inside out. It's not the other way around of outside out, outside in. So this is what we have as our finishing here. And these are the corners. And these are the gutters. Then we have the dashboards made of the same material of the roof sheets. They are going in front and they are going on the back. And then we have the ridges. Some they call them the capping. Those are the ridges on top, going right to the 6 meters, right? And our Nutec board is wood grain finish. This is the wood grain. By wood grain we mean they have a frame, a grain or a wood feel, and this is called teak because we have got different types of wood grains. We have got the classic, but this is the wood grain. When you touch there, you feel you have a feeling of a wood. It gives you the same feeling of a wood of timber, right? Okay, so we have what we call fascia boards connectors. Those are the ones that you see there that are like plastic. They are connectors or joiners, right? And then we have got our gutters and down pipes, right? They are going down, as you can see. And then on this part, we'll answer to that one, because those are the things that I come to check. On all the things that the guys have done, I've picked this. We will need to close there, and we'll do it when we are doing the ISO board. So this will be attended to. It's not a big thing, but it's a big thing for the people who understand what I'm trying to say in terms of waterproofing. So we'll close here with also a strip of Nutec, right? That's why I come to check all the work that these guys are doing. And we have got these joints that are going up where end planks meet. We have been putting a fiber seal, but then we also look at this, how thin it is or how big it is. This can be answered when the painters are painting. That's what they do when they do the preparation. They put painter's mate and fill in here. However, should there be any consent from the client, we can also fiber seal. We don't want to give this structure a lot of patches by fiber sealing. Some of the joints are not as big to warrant the fiber sealing, because if you were to fiber seal everywhere, this house is going to have patches all over, which we don't want, of which the painters, when they do the painters with the painter's mat to close the gap, it would look very neat. So we're trying to preserve and come out with a neat finishing. And this is the frames that we have done, screwed in, and the gaps, for those who are seeing, they will see we left them for the same reason that we don't want to mess this structure by fiber sealing it and patching it, even though we know fiber seal is going to be a permanent solution, but painter's mate will be the best as well, because it doesn't give ugly finishings. And that is the second part of this project, because this house is going to be painted, right? So we cannot be also doing the job of the painters at this time. Hence these gaps, we are leaving them like that, because we want to preserve a classic look on this house. We don't want to mess it by a lot of fiber sealing. We discussed with my carpenter about these areas. We have corrected. For the people who are watching, there was some bubbles on top, so we removed all the ridges and we corrected them, and we are happy with the finish. Same with the fascia dashboards there, and this whole area had the same effect of some bubbles and patterns forming, and we removed and we started afresh, because those are things that we check. We strengthened here where it was not also coming straight, and we are happy with this roofing. I instructed also the carpenters to make sure that we put as many nails as possible. By the nails we mean anchoring as many of the roofing nails as possible. So we are happy. We've been screwing everywhere. We didn't do shortcuts like what others normally do. We've been using much of screwing because then that it gives a nice finishing. And our dyne pipes, they are on top, they are not on the ground because the house is elevated by the stilts. So it follows that the gutters and the down pipes, they will be also on that level, throwing onto the ground. And underneath there is no any effect because we've got isoboards there. These windows framed neatly and also neatly here. These are the back windows. I think this one will be the toilet window. Yeah, so there it is. No problem. Everything is coming out right. If there is any, we're welcome to correct it, but we are happy with what we have been doing here. So there is sun here, but that's what we have here as the finishing. Okay, so let's see how it looks like from this side. From this side, that is how it looks like. Let me just close the gate. There's cows here, as you can see, small ones. So that is the finish there. Yeah, that is the finish there. Right to the top, we do not have any problem in terms of waterproofing. We answered that we were putting hand planks, then after that we would put the fascia board. So that is what we have here. And then in front, we'll go to the bottom section. Yeah, we were following the plan and our work that we have been doing. We know exactly how we anchor the roofing nails. So they are on this right spacing there. Yeah, there's nothing amiss, there's nothing wrong there. Yeah, we're quite happy with this finishing. The bottom part, we are not doing anything because there's a deck coming there. It will be useless to put the Nutec boards, remove them, and then it's a waste of time. So we are happy with that roof. Those are enough to sustain the winds, and this house is opposite the direction of the winds. We don't have a sea here, and we don't have gale force winds. Let's go out underneath. Underneath there we are now. This whole house has been isoboarded. We have done all the isoboards here. There is no anywhere where the isoboards are not done. And the isoboards are to regulate the temperature, to make sure that when it's hot it's cooler, and when it's cool it's warm. When it's winters it's warm inside, and elements that can grow and gnaw the board from the bottom, like plants and all that, they are prevented from doing so because isoboard has got all the elements and the features to prevent that from happening. These stilts are all covered, buried in the ground, concreted. There is no shortcut. They were all concreted as per our agreement and as per the specifications and as per the plan. They are treated CCA 140 poles, these ones. DPC plastic on top, and then shutter ply boards. So the timber is all treated. That is what we've been doing here. And this part now, we call it the foyer. The foyer is basically a place where people sit, connecting in between the two houses. Not really sit, they sit on in the front part where there is the boma and where the fire pit will be, and there is a deck. This is what used to be done on the next phase of the project, including the deck that will be in front here. Hence we have left all this opening because we can't close. It's not part of our work to do the deck as of now. So this allows the deck to be done because the deck is going to be anchored, and the brackets or bracketing of the timber into the deck is going to be done on this one. on these 228s. That is the 228 timber that is going right round. This part is not yet done in terms of the iso boards. It's what we are going to do tomorrow. There's still plastic here on this whole area. It's going to be done tomorrow. And then this one is done halfway. Half of this structure is done. Underneath, they have done half. Half of it has been done today. Right to where the house ends. It's only this side. You see, there is done. So it's only this side that has not been insulated with the iso boards, and we are doing it tomorrow. Hence, you see this. So this is what we will finish with tomorrow, and then we are done right to the end. It's not done, including this one, the 4x2. What do you call it? Foyer. Underneath here, just to show you. All this has been screwed in. We use screws, no shortcut. We use screws right to the end. So there it gets smaller because the structure is obviously sitting on a level that is not high. Yeah. So yeah, this is the front finishing. That's how it looks like. And we are happy with this finishing. Once it's painted, it gives a perfect finish. This is the best finish that you can get on this house. Right, let's look at how it looks like on the second one. The generator is here. This isolation was applied on all areas, as you can see. Yes, so this is how it would look here. It would look like this, going right to the top. And also here, the patches, like I said, is fiber seal. We're answering to waterproofing issues, which are very critical. And that area has been strengthened the way I instructed them to do on the fascia, the metal fascia. Yeah. And same with that area there. So this house has been built according to the plan. We are trying our best to make sure that we follow everything here. The windows, the framing, inside out, as it is here. Inside out, inside out, inside out. We're going to the inside now, but we just want to make sure that the outside is shown. That's the front of the second structure. And this is the foyer, and this is the second structure if you're coming from the western side.